Hey everyone, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel and to another driver deep dive video. So I've put Max and Lewis together for this one. I think it only makes sense that we put them together in a video given that they are currently fighting for the title against each other, and also I ended up getting a request to do a video on both of them. So I think in a lot of ways, when you look at their social media and just generally their lives off the track, they kind of fall into the stereotype of one driver who is focused solely on what's going on in the track, which is Max. And then as you'll see, Lewis has a lot of stuff going on outside of the track and a lot of other interests. So I think, we've seen this throughout the history of Formula One with drivers fighting for championships and having that pretty much that exact difference. So it's kind of cool to see it also happening in the modern era too. So yeah, let's get into it. So I mentioned this in my overall video of what F1 drivers do in their spare time, but Max really is that driver that is entirely focused on racing. So essentially, and this is also very clear from his Instagram, you're just going to see a photo of some stage of the cycle of a race weekend generally. So it's either prep, the actual race weekend, or debrief and analysis. So you're going to see a lot of that. Obviously he is extremely dedicated to being the best driver in the world, and I think that his single-mindedness has obviously helped him to get there, especially at such a young age, besides obviously his extreme natural talent, which doesn't hurt either. But with that being said, he really isn't into a whole lot of other things. He is extremely dedicated to this. So the last time he actually posted a non-driving / race related photo was way back on the 21st of August. So he's really not into having that much chill time. He has said before that his favorite thing to do once he gets back from a race weekend is to hop straight in the sim. So the guy is 110% focused, is needless to say. With that being said, the photo that he did post back in August was of one of the things that he absolutely loves doing, which is jet skiing. So this is one of the few things actually that you'll see in common with himself and Lewis as far as their extracurriculars go. So they're both really into, kind of getting a buzz, some sort of adrenaline, and also being in the outdoors at the same time. So Max absolutely loves being on a jet ski. He has also said in the past that he is a fan of PSV and Barcelona in terms of football clubs, but I don't know about you, but I really can't envision Max Verstappen sitting quietly on a couch for 90 minutes. So I'm not sure how big of a fan he really is or how closely he follows those teams. But he has said that he does have an interest in football, so there you go. This is no secret to anyone that follows Formula One. You don't even really have to be necessarily a fan of Lewis Hamilton. He has a lot of extracurriculars. It's built into his contract with Mercedes that he needs to essentially, between races, go out and do whatever he wants, whether it's fashion, music, anything at all, his activism. All of those things are extremely important to him, and to be honest, I could probably do an entire series of videos just about Lewis's extracurriculars, but I'll just get into a couple of them for the sake of this video. And like I said, there's also more information in my original video about what F1 drivers do in their spare time, so I will also link that in the description bar as well. But let's talk about fashion for a second, because Lewis Hamilton just serves looks all day, every day, as far as race weekends are concerned. I can't say I love all of the looks, but if you go onto his Instagram, you're gonna mostly be grabbed by two main things, and it's race content, and then secondly, probably almost more than the race content, you're gonna see a lot of outfit pictures. The guy just never quits. He absolutely loves fashion and loves making a statement, and I think that's where, those of us who don't have that high level of fashion education maybe can't appreciate some of the looks, but he never quits. and it's really impressive, to be honest. Of course, he has his partnership with Tommy Hilfiger, which is why all of the Mercedes team gear is branded Tommy Hilfiger apparel. But outside of that, he just absolutely lives and breathes fashion, and he often is seen between races at, you know, kind of key fashion events. Most recently the Met Gala back in September, where he actually bought a table at the Met Gala, which is extremely expensive, I can tell you, and essentially paid for the table to be full of people that he really admires, so other artists, and all of those artists were also athletes, I should say. Athletes and artists were dressed by Black designers that he wanted to highlight, and I think the fact that it takes time, even if it's just a flying visit, literally, to do those things and to invest, I think is fantastic. And it really just goes to show how, you know, people think that extracurriculars for drivers can be distracting, but actually they're adding value. He's happier, he's a better driver as a result, and it's essentially a win for everyone. I mentioned earlier that Max and Lewis do have a sort of social outdoor activity in common, and that's kind of anything to do with like adrenaline / water sports. So Max loves a jet ski, so does Lewis, but you'll often also see him hoverboarding, you know, casually. Most of us normal folk will like go to the gym or something to stay active, but Lewis is like jumping out of planes and things like that. So you'll often see him doing that. You'll often see him have Angela, his trainer, with him, or sometimes also members of his family and friends as well. So that is one thing that they do share in common. And then another thing that I think, because he doesn't post about it as often as his other kind of endeavors, not everyone knows how into music Lewis is. So not just being a fan of music, but he's actually been creating his own music for quite a while now. He had a song on Christina Aguilera's Liberation album back in 2018 where he was featured under a pseudonym, so a lot of people didn't actually even know it was him when the album came out, and he did post about it on Instagram, but he's talked a lot about how nervous he is about publicly speaking about his music kind of work, because as a perfectionist, which he certainly is, which I would say pretty much all F1 drivers are, you're constantly striving to be the best at something, and he's kind of publicly said, you know, I know that I'll probably never be the best at what I do with my music, but getting to sort of have to give himself like some extra slack and stuff like that to just enjoy it and be creative. And I think it's really cool for him to, you know, open up and sort of show that side of him as well, especially because making music is, of course, such a deeply personal thing for anyone that does it. And I will say that when that song did come out back in 2018 and he posted about it on Instagram, since then, little by little, he has been kind of posting more and more videos of himself, whether he's in the studio, playing the piano, playing the guitar, things like that. I put a snippet in my previous video about him playing a guitar that he was gifted by a very famous musician, so you should go and check that out to find out who that was. Alright folks, we're going to leave it there for today. Like I said, could have gone on and on about Lewis's extracurriculars in particular, but here we are. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do remember to leave a comment and let me know who you want me to cover in the next driver deep dive, and also hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my other videos, and check out my other playlists as well on my channel. And until the next video, I will see you all soon.